Okay, can you hear anything now? If you can, put one in the chat box. Make sure everybody can hear me. Like to welcome everybody that's here. Mindy, Natalie, welcome. Lori, welcome. All right, it's 4:03. Let's go ahead and get started. Basically, what I'm going to talk about today is I'm going to talk about email marketing and some of the secrets that we have discovered. But for anybody that's new and doesn't know me, my name is Mike Grady. I'm the former online advertising manager for the Daytona Beach News Journal. Worked for them for about 10 years. I actually was brought in 2000 to actually build their online newspaper, and took them from having 10 advertisers on a daily basis to over 1,500 advertisers on a daily basis. Went from $1,000 a month in revenue to $30,000 a month in revenues. And then I actually left the corporate world and the newspaper industry altogether and started my own online marketing agency, Local Expert Interviews, and Competitive Advantage Marketing. Since then, I've worked with companies like Microsoft, EMC, Jabil Circuit, but I really prefer working with small to medium-sized businesses. And the reason why is that small to medium-sized businesses don't have the resources to do what the big companies do, which is what I specialize in. So let's go ahead and get started with email marketing strategies. If you're going to be in marketing today, this is a skill set that you have to master. It is the way that we communicate today. Social media is nice. That's an engagement strategy. You know, direct mail is nice, but that's expensive. You take a look at television and you take a look at cable TV, radio, all those are so fragmented. The way we reach our consumers today is by email when we want a response and when we want to reach out and engage people that we're currently doing business with. That being said, the main goal of email marketing is to really test how much outbound marketing we have each and every day or week, and then measure the inbound responses. And what do I mean by that is we put together some sort of information, an offer, some benefit for the consumer. We send out a whole lot of emails, and then the people that are interested or are looking to buy now will actually respond in either clicking a link to go get more information and opting into an opt-in page, to actually reply to us via email, which is very safe for people to do, or they can pick up the phone if they want to schedule an appointment. But really our main goal when it comes to email marketing strategies is to measure how much outbound marketing we're doing to the niches that we're going after, and of course, how many inbound responses did we get. So we want to send the right message to the right market with the right type of offer, and then once they actually are have said that they're interested, to make sure we follow up with those people in the right way. So basically what it comes down to is if we're sending out just one email, that's a mistake. And the reason why is there's really no money in the first email. When you send out an email to a cold list or even a warm list, is basically that is just starting out by getting information to the consumer that might be interested. And it really comes down to that rule of 7 that I talked about last week, where people have to see your marketing message several times before they'll take action. So the first email, think of as a warm-up email. The second one that a consumer would get actually tells them that you're serious about making them an offer, because now they've seen your first email, they've seen your second email, and they understand something is going on. And then, of course, the third email is really where the money is. That's where people have been warmed up, people have seen that this is something that is going to be a benefit to them. And then the third email is generally where we say, this is the part of the offer where you take action, and this is the part of the offer where if you don't take action now, then the offer is going to go away. And we'll talk about that later. So really, when it comes down to the core values of selling, or to the bigger extent, the core values of running your business, is we really need to know what our numbers are. We go to our accountant, we know how much money is in the bank. If we write checks that are more than are in the bank, then we get in trouble. So that's just probably the most clear way to really understand numbers. When it comes to marketing, we really need to know what are our numbers, because our numbers are what tell us what to do. Our numbers are what tell us, hey, this is working, this isn't working. And it really doesn't matter what the product or service is. When I work with two companies or somebody's interviewing me, my question for them is, and I can tell everything I need to know about a business from two questions. How many outbound messages did you send this week? And how many inbound responses did you get? Because from those two numbers, I can tell you how many sales are going to be made, because it's a simple formula. And then once we know those numbers, then we can actually start working on the different variables to actually generate revenues. And really, the basis of email marketing is nothing happens until an email is opened. And by that, I mean you can send out 10,000 emails. If nobody opens it, they never get to the meat of what you're talking about, the offer, the benefit, the link to go through to get more information or make a purchase. So the thing that we really need to focus on in the beginning is to make sure our emails are getting opened. So the secret that we really have discovered to avoid what we call the inbox purge. In today's marketplace, everybody is using their electronic devices, whether it's a phone or a pad, to actually manage their businesses. We're all very busy once we get to the office. We've got people coming in and asking us questions. We've got people calling us on the phone. We've got vendors calling us up that we've got to meet with. So as business owners, we end up going through those tasks right away in determining what we're going to do first. And what we've discovered is that 49% of people check their email on their smartphone first thing in the morning. It's a habit that I have. I'll be getting ready to do my work. I've got my iPad. I've got my 3 major accounts that I work with every day because I own 2 businesses. I own my marketing agency. I own my manufacturing company. And I need to prioritize what I'm going to do first. So what I do is I actually go to my iPad, and I can tell what emails that I get on a regular basis, the ones that I'm going to read later, the ones that I'm going to act on right now, and of course, anytime an order comes in or some sort of important message comes from a client, of course, those are the things I'm going to do first. And really what we've discovered is that many people, business owners, actually scrub their emails that they don't want to read later. They just go down through, they check them off, check them off, check them off, hit delete, gone. So what we've discovered is that delivery time is crucial. Never send an email before 8 a.m. Most business owners are up at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. They're doing that email purge between 7 and 8, and then they're taking off for the office to get their day started. So what we've discovered is that sending emails between 8 and 9 a.m. and between 3 and 4 p.m. And really what I've discovered is that the 3 to 4 p.m., preferably in the business's time zone, if you're going to be marketing outside of your local area. We market all over the world, Canada, Europe, California, all over the world, even some clients in Australia. And it's best if we actually send those emails at the time that is best for them to receive in their time zone. In the Eastern Standard Time Zone, obviously between 3 and 4. And the reason why is because what's ended up happening is people, they purge their emails in the morning, then they work on the stuff that they're going to work on first, then they go through and they read the general information, and by then they're pretty much done, but everybody checks their email one more time before they leave the office. Most business owners obviously are going to be leaving between 5 and 6 if they own a retail location, depending on the marketplace. If you're a restaurant owner, obviously you're going to be busy with dinner. But we found that most business owners are actually doing that final checkup between 3 and 4. That's a really good time to actually get your email read. The other thing we've done through split testing is we've discovered the best days of the week to actually send emails. And we've discovered when it comes to open rates that Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays are the best days. Mondays, people are just getting back from the weekend, and Fridays, people are getting ready to go and spend a weekend away from the business. And again, that's if a business is not open on a Saturday or Sunday. Now, I will tell you for businesses, if you're trying to reach business owners that are white-collar business owners, say doctors, lawyers, that sort of thing, we actually have found that Sunday nights between 7 and 9 is a good time to actually send out emails, because those people tend to take an hour or two on Sunday night to plan out what they're going to do during the week. So that is actually a little bit lower on the conversion scale. Really, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday are the best days. But like I said, if you're going after a specific niche like white-collar businesses, that we found that between 7 and 9 on Sunday nights is really very, it gets us higher open rates. So secret number 3 that we've learned, and now we're going to dig a lot deeper and go into the strategies that we use, is to use proven subject lines. And again, if you would in the chat box, just put a 1 if you actually have a current email marketing campaign, or a 2 if you're currently not doing any marketing. Okay. All right. It looks like about 50% of you are actually have existing campaigns. Let's talk a little bit, like I said, about using proven subject lines. Now, really what we have is we really have 4 different types of emails that we can send with subject lines, where we use curiosity to get people to open the emails, or if we use some sort of blind offer or statement. And I'm going to go into the more detail on what each one of these are. I just want to give the 10,000-foot view right now. We can actually use a direct message to someone or a benefit message to someone. We can use urgency or scarcity, and that really goes to making an offer. Say we're going to have a webinar at 4 o'clock on Tuesday. If you don't register for it before 4 o'clock on Tuesday, you're going to miss it, that kind of thing. And then, of course, proof, results, and credibility, and that goes to getting people to trust the message that they're about to read. So first, let's talk a little bit more about curiosity. Is a lot of times we can actually put a subject line where it says less of something equals more customers. We can say less information equals more customers, less effort equals more customers. These are things that would be would generate curiosity for somebody to go, well, why less of something equals more customers? And again, that's just to get people to actually open the email so we can actually deliver more information in the body of the email. Another one that we've used is why Google's giving away 31 million websites. People don't realize that that is actually something that Google did with Google+. Google+ is a little mini website, very much like Facebook or any of the other social media sites, but they don't actually charge for those. But that is the kind of title that someone would click on, like, oh, why would Google be doing that? And of course, that gets them to open the email. Another one that we've used before is kind of weird, but very profitable strategy. Well, if somebody's reading that, they might go, well, I wonder what that is. And of course, then we get into a little bit more psychological training, where we say 7 business hacks to get new clients. And I'm sure you've seen these before, because people want to know, well, there are 7 business tactics to get new clients. Well, what are those? And then, of course, that will get people to open. And then, of course, we can use actual numbers, 1,322,956 free clicks from. And then we put in the strategy. Could be from free traffic, could be from retargeting traffic like I talked about last week. It could be from email marketing, it could be from display ads, it could be from newspaper ads. Whatever it is, we can actually talk about some of the different successes we've had with whatever that strategy is. And again, what we would do is we would just insert that right here, whatever that strategy is that we actually have done. That really goes a lot to credibility and proof as well. And then, of course, The next one down, we can actually quote 137% more sales with this boomerang trick. And of course, boomerang trick would be in reference to some sort of strategy that we used, and we can actually use information that we've gotten from, say, a case study. And a lot of times, which is really effective, is in front of this actually put in the words case study. And of course, then you've also seen other emails that say steal the strategy for getting more customers. Of course, that lets the person who's reading the headline of the email before they open it say, well, what is that strategy? I want to get more information about it. So now, those are different types of curiosity titles. Now we'll talk about the next category, which is benefits. These are things that if they open this email, this is something that they're going to get. 5-star reviews get more clicks. Well, what 5-star reviews? How do I get 5-star reviews? I have 5-star reviews. What do I need to do to get more clicks? Proven websites that convert like crazy. Well, if you've got a website that's just a brochure, well, what do you exactly mean by websites that actually convert like crazy? And of course, that just, again, if somebody has a problem with their website, they want to do more with it, that's something they might open. Generate more customers to your door fast. Well, of course, as business owners, that really touches on, well, we always want to generate more customers, and we always want to do it faster than slower. So that is something that if somebody was looking for more customers or they wanted to have another strategy to grow their business, they'd click on that email to open it. And then, of course, how to write headlines that sell. Now, that could be for somebody that is interested in display advertising. That could be somebody that's interested in social media marketing and doing posting and things like that. So those are the type of people who would actually open that email because they're interested in getting that benefit. And of course, one of our favorites is build a list of customers for $1. Well, if you actually were trying to build a list of customers, if you were new and you didn't have a big budget, well, that would appeal to you. And of course, how SMS messages or text messages can create loyalty. That is a real big opportunity going forward. So people are really interested in finding out how text messaging works. But again, each one of these is actually talking about a benefit. If they open this email, they're going to learn something new and get that benefit. So what I'd like to do now is, for those of you that have actually been doing email marketing, throw in the chat box some of the different emails that you've been using or you think would be good to reach your customers. Okay, everybody wants to be quiet today. That's fine. If at any time you feel comfortable to share some of the different emails that you're using currently, just feel free to throw them in there. I'd be more than happy to critique them for you. That being said, if you want to email me later and get some advice, I'd be more than happy to go over those with you. But yeah, I am always interested in feedback of people of what you're doing, and then we can actually take a look at either if it's working for you because you're split testing, and if it's not, maybe we can help you actually we can actually help you by going over some of your subject lines to see if we can either adjust it or if we can actually move some of the words around or use different words to get higher open rates. Oh, hang on a second. We actually have, Mindy actually says we generally do email blasts for sale items. Excellent. And also to announce our new location. That's very common, very good. Mindy, are you actually emailing to your existing customers? What I'm thinking about is people that are currently not doing business with you. Do you have any sort of headlines that you're using that you know work to get new customers? Okay. All right, so you're sending out to your existing customer list, plus we're adding from other lists, okay? So you've got a couple of list building strategies. Like I said, I'd be real curious to see what the headlines are for announcing your new location. And if you're doing a curiosity approach, if you're doing a scarcity approach, like for our new location, come in for this special offer until this date, that kind of thing. I'm real interested in seeing what you're doing there. But again, we can talk about that later. So what I want to do now is move along to the next email strategy that you can use, and of course that is using either proof or results. And again, like I said before, in the other, when it talks about curiosity, is we can actually put the word case study in front of whatever statement we're about to make. And of course, that goes to credibility. That means this is a program we've put together, we've tested it in the marketplace, and this is what the result was. So case study, $188,674 from sending one email. Local business makes 10K in 10 days. Local business builds 5-star reputation in 5 days. This one we use all the time. This is a program that I've actually worked with many different markets, many different businesses, many different niches, and anybody that's looking to build their reputation, this is something that we do all the time. And actually, we can actually back this up with actually testimonials, which I'll talk about later. Easy way to increase your business by 19%. Now, again, if you're a business owner and everybody's looking to increase the bottom line and make more revenues, that would interest me. 347 new customer leads in less than 30 days. Again, very doable depending on your marketing message. New survey reveals how many more customers fast. How to get more customers fast. Well, we all get information surveys from our associations that we belong to. So again, that's a email headline that would actually get the email open because everybody's looking for information, especially when it comes from other similar businesses. And of course, case study, 127% ROI from using 5-star reviews. Why are 5-star reviews important? Because that means other people, our customers, like us so much, they're willing to say good things about us publicly. And of course, then we can use probably the most effective strategy for generating revenues, which is urgency or scarcity. 85% off sale ends at midnight. Offer doubles in 6 hours. Closing down soon. Opening up soon. Last chance to be a VIP. Only 4 spots left. This is one of our favorites where we actually set a parameter of only having X amount of spots open, and once those spots are gone, then anybody else that comes along has actually missed out on the offer. What that does is that gets all of our spots filled up quickly, but then the people that miss out, they understand they missed out, so the next time when they send them an offer, they're the ones that are more likely to take advantage of that offer as soon as it goes out. And of course, final notice. This is also another one if we actually put together a program where we have slots available and we might have 1 or 2 that are open with just a couple of hours to go. Say it's going to close at 5. We send out an email at noontime and say 2 more spots, closes at 5. And if we only had 10 production spots and 2 were open, they will usually go right away. But again, all those come down to urgency and scarcity. And because we're marketing to our same lists over and over and over again, once somebody misses out on an opportunity, the next opportunity comes along, they're going to be the ones that are first in line. So now let's move along to other strategies of how to get emails open. What we've discovered is that using Unicode symbols or glyphs in the titles of the emails actually separates out our emails from everybody else's that just have text. And if you haven't tried using glyphs, this is something that should be split tested. And here's a free resource that you can go to, emailstuff.org/glyph/search. And basically what that is that's just a website where you can actually go and you can actually get the Unicode symbols. And what do I mean by Unicode? Those are the computer codes that you would get that you would actually insert into your headline at the front or the back. And what I'm talking about is right here in this headline where we have free shipping today only, right here, this little shamrock, that's the glyph. And this is just a little piece of computer code. It's just a matter of symbols. Generally, they're about 6 or 8 symbols long that the computer reads and knows it's a glyph, and it'll actually show the human that's reading the email the glyph. This is real popular around Valentine's Day, where you've got a heart at the beginning of your message and a heart at the end of your message. And again, you can do that for each one of our holidays. If we were talking about the 4th of July, we can put a star or a flag or something like that in front of it. Or, you know, here's a finger pointing to, hey, you've got to see these RVs. I mean, obviously, this would be an RV dealer. But when we're going up here, where we've got holidays like Valentine's Day, we've got 4th of July, we've got back to school, we've got Labor Day, we've got Memorial Day, we've got Christmas, Thanksgiving, we've got Halloween. As business owners, when it comes to marketing, we should never, ever, ever let a holiday go by without offering our clients some sort of offer or special incentive. So this is just a way that we can actually separate out our email titles from everybody else. And again, emailstuff.org/glyph, that's free service. You can go there and you can actually get more information about how those work. They're real super simple. You can do a search. That's why I provided that link for you. You can look for whatever you want. Like we've got October coming up with Halloween, so you can find something that's Halloween themed, and then we can actually put together a campaign that would start in the month of October. Now, we've actually done some comparisons and actually done some testing using glyphs and not using glyphs, and again, through split testing. And I'm going to talk a lot about what split testing here is in a minute. But we've actually discovered that we actually have an 18.3% open rate with a glyph and a 15.7% open rate without a glyph. So it's not really a huge increase, but it still is 3%. So it might be worth it just to give it a shot for your business. Okay, so now moving on, Secret 5, if anybody is doing any email marketing where you have a product or service and you create a short little mini video about that, this happened to be a client of ours, Koning Realty, right here in Daytona Beach, Florida. This is a condo I think that they had listed for $300,000, $400,000. And we took advantage of their newest 5-star review and coupled that together with pictures of the condominium and that sort of thing. But the thing I wanted to talk about is if, and we actually took this video and actually emailed it out to a list of their past buyers asking for references and that sort of thing. But what we do is we take that image and then right there we actually overlay an image that actually looks like the press play button that you would find on, say, YouTube. All right, we put that into the image on in our emails, and then people will actually see that, and most people will actually click on it because they now know it's not just an image, it's actually the starter image for a video. So again, that's a way that once the email is opened and now people are reading it, we can actually get them to click on it and go through to a video. Once they take that next step and you've engaged them with video, your percentage of sales is going to go way up because now that becomes an engagement strategy. And again, we've talked a lot about how to get emails opened. Now what we're going to talk about as I go further is once that email is open, some of the things we can do to actually engage people as opposed to just giving them something to read by giving them graphics and other things that actually catch their eye, slow them down, and actually get them to read the email and take action. One of the things that we've discovered is that you can put into your emails is you can actually put in an animation. You can show your offers, your services with animated GIFs. One image is worth 1,000 words. You put in a short video, or you put in an animated GIF where it actually shows 3 or 4 images rotating. That will engage a consumer more than just reading a text. If you want to create a image, a GIF, if you don't have a graphic designer on your staff, what we recommend is you can actually go here to gifmaker.me, and you can actually go in there, and it's a free service, pretty comprehensive, and you can actually go in there, take pictures of your products, pictures of your services, that sort of thing, and you can actually make those GIFs. Then what we do is we insert those into the email, and instead of just reading the email, then all of a sudden now that GIF starts rotating those images so that people can see your product, your service, and your offers. One of the other things that we've actually put in animation-wise is a countdown timer. And again, this goes to that principle of scarcity. So if we have an offer that's only good until, say, the 15th of the month, we send out that email on the 1st, and it says you've got 15 days, and it starts counting down from the date that you set. So then we send out a second email, say 3 or 4 days later, and it'll actually show them, hey, now instead of 15 days, we've sent the second email 5 days later, now there's only 10 days. And again, we can actually get very specific with that, especially if we send it out with a specific time. So in other words, instead of counting by days, we can actually count by hours. And again, if you want a free service, you can actually go here to OutTimeR, there's no E there, .com, and that's where you can actually get a plugin to put a timer into your emails. So again, those are 2 free services that you can use that we've used before, and actually, according to our split testing results, actually show that our percentage of opens and then, of course, our click-through ratings actually go up. So now what I want to get into is I want to get into the structure of actually writing your emails. So now we've seen a little bit about what times we should be sending our emails. We've talked a little bit about the subject lines and the different strategies we've used to get people to open the emails, some of the different graphical images that we can actually put in to get people to take action. But really what it comes down to email marketing is we really want to use a psychology in place to get people to trust the emails that we're sending them and the information that's in the emails. And the reason why is because especially when you're sending to a cold market, and by cold market I mean someone that's never purchased from you before, we need to put in there information so that it separates out your message from everybody else's and gets them to understand that this is valuable information. And basically we want to use, again, what we've already talked about is curiosity and proof, benefits or results, scarcity or social proof, and then of course at the bottom a PS message using scarcity or social proof. So I'm going to break down each email into 4 different parts, and if you're getting emails from me, you'll probably find now if you go back and look at my emails, they're written in this pattern. But basically we have an intro, and a lot of times when we're selling our video marketing, I'll talk about being a producer, and we're covering the production expenses. We're producing a Hollywood-style commercial. We need a few more details. We've started production, and of course the video link. And again, what this comes up here with, and I would generally put in here executive producer, and that lets people know, hey, this is somebody with credibility. And again, here's a real big benefit for someone that's actually looking for us to produce a video for them is we're covering the production expenses. So it lets them know, hey, listen, there's something here that might be a benefit to me. What is this? I'm going to read a little bit further. Then we're producing a Hollywood-style commercial. Well, we use the word Hollywood because people understand that Hollywood and video go together. So we're trying to build more and more credibility as we go. Then we actually put in the first video link after we make those introductory statements. Then we move into the body. And when I mean the intro should really only be 1 or 2 or 3 sentences long. And again, establishes credibility, gives people a benefit, lets them know what's in it for them if they read further. Then we get into the body and we give them a little bit more information. All right, why are you contacting me? When somebody opens an email and they read the first couple of lines and we get them curious about, well, what's this email all about and how is it a benefit to me? Well, hold a second. Why did this person send this email to me? That's something, that's a question that everybody asks, and we need to answer that in the message as quick as we can. So one of the ways that we do it, especially when we're producing the review videos, is our research team found some great reviews like this one, and then we would actually put in the review. So we're letting the person know why we picked them and why we sent them an email. And again, for your business, it could be because you're sending to your existing customer list, or they did business with you last year and you just wanted to send them an email to engage them again because you hadn't heard from them in a while. On the social media sites, if it's a birthday, that kind of thing. These are all different methods and strategies to let people know why we're sending them this information. And then one of the other things that we put into our emails is several of our beta testers have experienced getting customers. In your business, it might say several of our customers have received this benefit from buying our product or service that I'm going to introduce to you in a minute. And again, we've put in there, we're covering all the production expenses. We want to get your feedback before we launch. And again, we're building that credibility. And then we put in another link. So in other words, what we're doing is we're putting in a link in the intro, a link in the body, and then of course the closing, and then of course we can put a link in the PS at the bottom. And you can put multiple links in your emails, and the spam filters generally don't care if it's all going to the same place. If you have links that go to 4 different websites, then it's going to get caught in a spam filter. But if it's the same link going to the same location, the spam filters are going to be okay with that. So now we get into the close of the email. Now we want to get into the scarcity portion, or the social proof. Right here, this is one of our favorites. We end with, please call me by end of day. All right, so somebody that's interested, we're giving them a request. We're saying, hey, call me so we can actually get this taken care of. Another one of our closes, we need to finish production by Friday. And again, for your business, the offer, every time you make an offer, it should have an end date on it. Because if it doesn't have an end date, there's no reason for people to pick up the phone and actually schedule to purchase your product or service. So always make sure, no matter what you do when you're making an offer to somebody for some special that you want to offer them, make sure it has an end date. And of course, one of the ones we use is, we need a few final edits. Here's my phone number, and you put in your phone number. What we've discovered in the close is that you put in your phone number, put in your name, put in the name of your business, put in the address of your business. That lends credibility to somebody getting an email. They may not remember who you are. They just see a name, then they may not think it's a real email. But if you put in your name, your business name, your address of your business, that lends credibility that you're a real local business. And of course, then we put in that the link to the page that we want them to go to. And of course, in the PS, what we've discovered is that we always put in the PSs in our emails, because we find that about 30 to 40% of the people actually read the PSs at the bottom. Even if they didn't read the introduction, the body, or the closing portion of it, they will read the PS at the bottom. And one of the things that we do is, if you want to see the product in action, then you can actually go to Google and type in a specific set of keywords. In this particular case, for our review videos, Tiffany Tampa reviews, and they can actually see a final production from a company they've heard of before. One of the other strategies that we found that is really, really effective in the PS is to take a review that you've gotten from one of your satisfied customers, and all you need to do is just go to Google Plus or Facebook or whatever and just grab a real quick screenshot of that. And once you grab that screenshot, make it into a little image, and then you can insert that image at the bottom of the email. And again, what's that go to? That goes to social proof. So in other words, this is really a cold email strategy where somebody's never done business with you. It's a really great way to show people credibility, because other customers thought so highly of you that they actually left you a 5-star review. So what I wanted to show you is, I've shown you the structures and the strategies of how to send out effective emails. We work with a lot of really expert marketers for different products or services, and they send us emails just like everybody else. And I want to show you some emails that we've actually gotten of people that, you know, send out emails with the best intentions, but they don't use a definite strategy. They just overwhelm people with information. So let me read this to you, and then you can put one in the chat box if you think you would actually take action on this email. Hi, I'm so-and-so from X company. After working with medical professionals, national car dealers, attorneys, and even political campaigns, there's one thing for sure. Every market is highly competitive. What makes you different from your competitors? Do you agree with reputation influences customers' decisions? When someone Googles your company, if you only had 1 star, do you think they would use your product or service? Let's face it, your competition can be, I mean, this just goes on. I've now gotten halfway down through this and I have no idea what this email is about. That's why it's so important when you're emailing somebody, especially somebody that doesn't know who you are, that you should let them know, first line, who you are, what you have to offer. And of course, this goes on, kind of meanders all over the road. But down here, this is where the offer is, and they start out with the offer with the words, the bad news is, your competitors met the qualifications too. We've offered 3 of them a beta program. This line right here, when I read this, I almost fell over, because what this person has done is just insulted the person you sent the email to. So don't do that. So I want to show you another example of an email, but before I do that, when we take a look at this email, in any of this email, have we let the customer, the prospective client or customer, know what the value is? Have we created any kind of curiosity? Is there any authority in here whatsoever? And by the way, this email wasn't even signed. Is there any sort of results? That if you buy this product or service, what are the results? And of course, what are the benefits to the consumer? Anybody that's going to buy a product or service, the only reason they're going to buy a product or service is because they have a problem. And if you can't explain to them how you're going to solve their problem, they're never going to buy your product or service. And of course, there's no scarcity, there's no timeline, take action now. And of course, there's no social proof. And by social proof, we mean somebody that's purchased a product and they've had success with it. So again, whenever we write our emails, and you should take a screenshot of this page, is that your email should always have all of these or most of these: value, curiosity, authority, results, benefits, and scarcity, and social proof. I'm going to take a couple seconds, get a drink here, because I want you guys to write these down every time you write an email. Make sure that each one of those strategies, each one of those elements of an email are actually in there. Okay, did everybody get that? If you would, put a 1 in the chat box if you want me to move on. Okay, good. Mindy, you're very interactive. I like you very, very much. Okay, here's another email. Again, I'm going to read this to you. And again, this goes to a 5-star review video. It's a product that some of our clients use. Jerry, this is marketer at agency name. This is confirmation that your 5-star review video is ready for sign-off. This came out fantastic. Here's the link. Don't worry, it's a safe link. I'm a local business too. This is not an email to someone this person knows. This is a cold email. At the part where he says, don't worry, it's a safe link. If I don't know you, how much credibility does that have? That's right, 0. The directions are on the link page. Looking forward to talking to you in the next 48 hours, executive producer. Again, no name, no company name, no phone number. I mean, this doesn't have enough credibility. Matter of fact, especially this part right here, I wouldn't click on that link if my life depended on it, because you never know which, in today's day and age, you never know what you're going to get. I mean, you could be clicking on something where you're going to actually go and you'll get some sort of virus. What I would say right here is we need to build up a lot of credibility before we provide people with a link so that they feel comfortable enough to go there. But if you announce to them that this is safe and don't worry, that sends up a red flag immediately. Don't ever do that. And again, this email was short and it didn't create any kind of value. In here, it doesn't talk about any of the value of the product. There's no curiosity to this. There's no authority about who this person is. There are no results that if they took a look at this, what the consumer would get. There's no benefits. There's no scarcity. And by scarcity, I mean if you could figure out what the offer was, the offer would expire at a specific time. And again, there's no social proof of other people that have actually taken a look at this review video and what they thought of it. So again, value, curiosity, authority, results, benefits, scarcity, social proof. These are all elements that should be written in to every one of our emails. By the way, one of the things that I actually had here is, because this is a client of ours, the business owner actually responded to this email, which was amazing. And the business owner's response was, well, your video is cute, but frankly, anyone can do that via Facebook or any other social media platform. What do you offer that's different? So even as bad as this email was written, this person was interested enough to say, I don't see the value here. Please tell me what makes you different. And when he says, what do you offer that is different, he's saying, please tell me what the value is. That was huge. So again, when it comes to email marketing, our main goal is outbound marketing to get an inbound response. It's the right message to the right market, to the right type of follow-up. What I'd like to do now is I'd like to give you a bonus for actually being on the webinar here. Is I actually have a program that will actually generate a lead list. And if you'll send me your name, your email, your phone number, the target market that you want to go after, say furniture stores, and you want to give me 10 cities that you want to go after, Atlanta, Georgia, Miami, Florida, Chicago, or if your business is in your local area, you can put in the target market that you want to go for, and then put in the 10 towns that are around your area. I can actually generate a list for you, because one of the things I've talked a lot about email marketing and how to generate emails, how to get them opened, that sort of thing, but then who do we actually send them to? So we actually have a program that we've built, and this is a $997 value. I'm going to give it to you for free, and this is what we do, is we actually have our system go out and look for all the businesses that actually come up for a specific category in specific cities. And basically what we give you is a lot of information, company name, address, city, state, zip, website, email, postal code, and then a whole bunch of other information. If you were to go to one of the list services, you're probably going to pay anywhere from $1 to $1.25 per lead. This program right here, we actually put in furniture companies for 10 of the top cities in the Eastern time zone, Eastern Standard Time Zone, and we actually got a list back of 598 leads with emails. So again, just for attending the webinar, if you go down here to Competitive Advantage Marketing /generate my list, I'll put that link in the chat box for you, so that you can actually go and I can actually generate a list for you. Let me just put that in here. Oops. One more second. There we go. http:/competitive advantage marketing /generate my list. There you go. Now you don't even have to type it in. I just put it in the chat box. And you can just click on the link, and that'll take you right straight through to the page. And again, that's just a bonus I'm giving away for free. Now, I've talked to you a lot about how to write effective emails. I want to give you a list of people that you can start marketing to immediately. And then lastly, I don't know how many people actually have a program that will actually do the marketing for them. A lot of people use Aweber, a lot of people use Constant Contact. and those are very good services for just sending out emails. But we actually have a program called Prospect Rocket. We give, for one seat license, you have the ability to market to 2,000 different people. You can do campaign sequences, you can do split testing, you can do automations, and by automations I mean we can actually determine who opens emails, who doesn't open emails, who opens emails, who clicks on a link, and who actually takes action and converts. We actually have a program that we actually use called Lead Aware, so that when somebody actually opens the email, our system actually can notify our salespeople to call that person while they have that email opened. And what we've discovered is that if you have your salespeople call the person that is reading the email, now you don't tell them that we know that, but just call them when they're reading the email, your ability to actually sell your product or service actually goes way up. Our system also has opt-in pages. Instead of driving traffic just to the home page of your website and then people have to search around for whatever product or service you're talking about, if we actually send them directly to one page that only talks about that product or service, then of course our conversions go up. I'll talk to you about retargeting. Our system has the ability, if you were on the webinar last week, I talked about retargeting, where 97% of the people that come to our websites are doing an investigation of us and never actually purchase from us. What we do is we drop a targeting pixel on their browser, and then we can actually set up marketing to actually follow them around the internet to remind them of our business. And when we do that, we become top of mind. When the person's ready to make a purchase, then they actually come back and purchase from us. That's retargeting. We can also put that same pixel into an email chain, into an email campaign, and once somebody opens that email, it now drops a pixel on their computer, and now here's a person who's never been to our website, but will now start seeing our marketing if we have a retargeting program. So that alone is one of the more powerful strategies that we use. And of course, once we actually send out marketing to these people and we've warmed them up, we want to have a real simple and easy way to be able to pick up the phone and call them. And of course, you know, nobody wants to make cold calls. All right, I don't like it. My salespeople don't like it. Nobody likes it. But if we've sent a series of emails to people and we know, let's say we've sent them 4 or 5 emails and we know they read every single one of them, now that becomes a warm phone call. And those turn into really great conversations. If you're interested in something like that, it's competitiveadvantagemarketing.com/get-prospect-rocket. And what I'll do is I'll go through a little bit of that with you. This is what Prospect Rocket looks like in the background. This is our contact management and email system. Does a lot of other things. I'm just going to go over a broad brush right here. But this is where, when we set up the email campaigns, we actually have split testing built in. Most of the email programs that are out there don't make this super easy to do. But split testing is where we can actually put in, instead of one subject line, we can actually put in the same subject line and change one word. We can put in the same subject line and change the time frame that the person can actually take advantage of our offer. So we actually have the ability to track 3 different subject lines, so that over time we can actually see what subject line is working the best, and then test that against other subject lines. And then we also have the ability to test email content and then another email. So in other words, 10 people get an email, 5 are going to get one that has just text, 5 are going to get an email here that has a text and an image, like the image I showed you that had the press now button in it. That we use a lot, and we'll actually test, does a video work or just does text work? And then of course we can actually see, and it really varies by marketplace, to see what the percentage rate is of emails getting opened, and then of course taking action by clicking on the link. So that's a real powerful system. And then also, when you're writing your emails, we actually have a spam checker. Certain words, buy now, click here, phone number, these are all words that will get your emails caught in a spam filter. So what we do is we write the emails, and then our spam checker automatically checks for those spam words, and then it'll actually highlight those spam words so we can actually go and change the word to something that won't get caught in a spam filter. One of the other things, and this is a part of the title, is how to make $197 a day and not actually speak to anybody, is not only can we send out an email, but we can actually do a voice recording and actually send out a voice broadcast right after that email goes out. What I like to do a lot is I'll send out an email that'll go out immediately, and then the voice broadcast goes out 15 minutes later. And all the voice broadcast says is, "Hi, this is Mike Grady. I just sent you an email. I wanted to call you up and leave you this message and have you check your spam folder because I wanted to make sure you got the email. Have a great day." Nothing to sell, no offer, not being obnoxious, just letting people know I sent them an email and to check their spam folder. Now, once we've actually sent out a campaign, this is our campaign summary, and you can see our summary analytics. I'll go through each one of these, but we can actually see how many contacts were added to the system, how many emails were sent out, how many emails were opened, and then of course clicks and replies, that sort of thing. And our emails, we've actually found that our email open rates, industry average is between 1% and 2%. Because of our training and the different email strategies that we use, benefit, curiosity, scarcity, that sort of thing, our open rates generally go anywhere from 5% to 15%. So that training, we can actually test back and forth what works, and then of course we learn from what works and what doesn't. We do what works and we don't do what doesn't work, this is where we can actually determine what's working and what doesn't work. And again, over here, we can actually see where we've actually, in this email campaign, right here, we've dropped 50 pixels. That number matches this number right here. So in other words, if somebody opens the email, they never purchase from us, they've never been to our website, anywhere they go on the internet, they're going to start seeing ads from our traffic campaign, which of course lets them know that they can actually purchase that product or service, and when they're ready for it, then they come to us. So that's a real great strategy, especially when you're going after cold traffic. Prospect Rocket analytics, we can actually see if we've sent out, we can actually see how many emails we've sent out, how many were opened, and then of course this will be the first, second, third email. And this will actually track as many emails as you want to send out. If you want to send out, an email every day, if you've got a special event coming up, say you've got a new location opening on the 15th of the month and you want to send out a special offer for 15 days, you would have 15 emails and you'd be able to track all the information from how many were sent, how many were received, how many were opened, how many links were clicked, how many people unsubscribed, that kind of thing. Then of course, once we send out all the emails, we actually have all of our contacts here, all the contacts information where we have their phone number, their email, and we can actually see that their last action right here, whether they've opened, whether they've clicked. If there's nothing here, that means they have not opened it, they may have ignored it. But what we can do is we can actually select this little up and down arrow here and select all the people that have opened the email, and then over here is a button where we can actually select all of the ones that were opened. We come up here to actions, and I can't do it because this is a presentation that's not live, but we would actually hit this drop down. We can actually select all these, hit this drop down, and drop them directly into a call block, and we can actually call all the people that have actually opened our email. This is fantastic for your salespeople. And of course, campaign automation. This is something that's very, 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 very powerful. We can actually, if we send out emails to 500 people and 400 of them never even opened the email, they've ignored it, the system after the campaign is finished will actually put this label that they ignored the email. We can see how many people opened the email, we can see how many people clicked the link, we can see how many people registered or converted or took action. Now, if we send out an email and they're ignored, and we do this several different times, say for several different products, and we see that there's a certain number of people that ignored email sequence number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, they're probably either bad emails or the spam filter is never going to let us through. So we just chuck those. What we can do is select all those people, save them to a list, and delete them because we don't need them. But these people right here, these people that have actually opened the email, these are people that have opened the email but didn't take action. These are the people that were interested enough to find out what the information was. They just chose not to take action. Great people to market to, no matter what your product or service is. And of course, then click link and then convert it. Obviously, these are the people that we want to target more and more and more. And then lastly, this is where we can actually set up our retargeting pixels. So again, last week I talked about retargeting. This is another strategy that we can use to get more and more people, to get our products and services in front of more and more people, and this is where we set that up. So this is a system that we use. This is called Prospect Rocket. It's a system that I've used for the better part of 2.5 years. I love it. It's $97 a month. It is probably, now I'm not going to say probably, it is the most comprehensive piece of software, and the reason why is that my team developed it for our products, and we've used all the other systems, and what we've done is we've come together and put and built a system that has the best of all of the other systems into our proprietary system. The best part of this is if you decide that this is something that would help your business, I'm actually going to be doing a Prospect Rocket training on how to use the system step by step by step, everything I do every single day, and I will teach you how to use the system, and you can actually talk to me about the product or service that you want to put into the marketplace, and I'll actually help you market that product. So just go to competitiveadvantagemarketing.com/get Prospect Rocket. I will actually go ahead and type that into the chat box so that you have it. Just typing here, just bear with me. There we go. And there's the link in the chat box. Like I said, this is the exact same program that I use for both my businesses, my manufacturing company and my marketing agency. This is something that we have used to pick up clients all over the United States, Canada, Australia, Europe. I think right now we probably have 15,000 different businesses that we manage with Prospect Rocket. So if this is a benefit to you, take advantage of it. I would be more than happy to help you grow your business. If you have any questions now for me, I'm done with my portion of the webinar. If you, Mindy has a question. Can you send a free targeting pixel from last week's webinar? I was not able to access it. Yes, very much so. Mindy, do me a favor. Why don't you do this? Put your email address in the chat box. And that way what I can do is I can just email you the link directly. Got it. Okay, once I get off the webinar here, I will email you the link to the tracking pixel. Does anybody else have any questions? Okay, well, thank you all very much. I am going to try to get this replay up and emailed out to everybody later on this evening for a 8 o'clock encore, but that all depends on GoToWebinar, if they can produce this once I get off and have stopped the viewing. But that being said, if you haven't got that email, then look tomorrow morning and the replay will be up. Next week, I'm going to be talking a little bit more about our waiting list program. It's something that we can actually do to build a list. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me. And if not, we'll see you next Tuesday.